Hello everyone, I'm Rashmi Mangla. I'm working as an assistant professor for the BBA department of St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. The subject that I'll be teaching today is Human Resource Management. This is our 12th lecture of Unit 3 that we were doing. The topics that will be covered today are employee retention, need and importance of employee retention, factors affecting employee retention, challenges in employee retention, succession planning and steps involved in succession planning. This is our last lecture of Unit 3. So let's just cover it up. Now, when we talk about employee retention, basically employee retention means the process, or it is basically the ability of the organization to keep up its employees, to retain them so that they do not leave the organization. That ability that an organization has is called its employee retention. Let's see in detail. Employee retention is the overall strategy or ability of an organization to retain its best employees and hence maintain a lower turnover. They have to maintain a lower turnover. That means the labor turnover rate, it should be low. That means the employees should not continuously keep on switching their jobs. The turnover should not be high. An organization is able to achieve this by adopting various employee retention programs. Employee retention is and should be one of the main focus areas of the human resource department in any organization. It is the most important area because human resource is the most vital resource in an organization. So keeping them in the organization is of utmost importance. Now, employee retention refers to the ability of an organization to retain its employees, and it can be represented by a simple statistic. For example, a retention rate of 80%, if we talk about it, indicates that an organization kept 80% of its employees in a given period. So basically, we have to try to keep our turnover rates low, because the more the employees are retained in the organization, the more the organization will prosper. Because if older employees are retained, they will gradually become experienced, and the more experienced employees become, the more efficient they become in their work. So ultimately, in order to achieve the organizational goals, employee retention is the most important aspect for every organization. Now let's see the need and importance of employee retention, that why retaining the employees is important in an organization. Now, retaining a valuable employee is essential for every organization because of the following reasons. Firstly, hiring is not an easy process. Obviously, yes. See, hiring is a very lengthy process wherein HR professionals, they have to shortlist few individuals from a large pool of talent, and then they have to by conducting the preliminary interview, and then again accordingly they have to forward the interviews or the shortlisted candidates to the respective line managers, who again further do the grilling to judge and to choose the most apt candidate for the specific post. But then it is not an easy process because a lot of steps are involved. So in order to avoid this, we should try to retain our good employees. Then an organization invests time and money in grooming an individual and make him ready to work and understand the corporate culture. Obviously, see, when a new employee is hired in the organization, new people will not be knowing how the organization is working, what is the work culture, what kind of process is going on in the organization. So organization also invests their time, their money in grooming the individual, in making the individual ready, in making the individual capable enough to understand and to fulfill the given requirements of the particular job. So if an organization is investing so much time and money, it will likely to it is likely that it would want the employee to stay in the organization, and that is the major reason why we want the employees to retain in the organization, because again and again investing time and money is again ultimately a loss for the organization only, and a wastage of time as well. Then not only this, when an individual resigns from his present organization, it is more likely that he would join the competitors. In most cases it is like that maybe the employee who's working very efficiently in your organization, your competitor likes his work, and they might try to attract him, they might try to lure him, and your employees your employees, they tend to take all the strategies, all the policies from the current organization to the new one. And not only that, they take all the important data, information, statistics also to the new organization. And maybe, in some cases, they can even leak the secrets of the previous organization. So to avoid such cases, it is essential that the new joinee is made to sign a document which stops him from passing on any information if he leaves the organization. So, beforehand only a document should be signed with the employees, so that even if they leave the organization, they cannot reveal any information of one organization to the other. So strict policies should be made which prevent them from, and not only this, there should be strict policies even for joining the competitors also. Like, for example, some companies are there. If we talk about the corporate sector, some companies are there. Let's take an example. If an employee is working in Bank of America, there is another company called American Express. They, at times, what they do is they just strictly have a no in their guidelines that we will not hire an employee from Bank of America, or maybe will not hire an employee of personnel. So the competitors often sign, they sign an agreement that neither will hire people from your organization nor you hire people from our organization. So at times such kind of contracts are also made between the competitors. Then next one is the employee working for a longer period of time are more familiar with the company's policies, guidelines, and thus they adjust better. Obviously, the employees who have been working from a considerably long time, they are more aware about the company's policies and guidelines, and they are more efficient in their work. So they will contribute more effectively as compared to the ones who will join new. Then every individual needs time to adjust with others. If a new member comes in, they need time to adjust with the ones who are already working in the organization. So one needs time to not only adjust, to be friendly with the team, to be eventually build their trust. So organizations are always benefited when employees are compatible with each other. When employees are compatible with each other, they are happy working, and when they are happy to do the work is done more properly and more efficiently. Whereas if a new individual replaces an existing one, adjustment problems might crop up. Maybe the new one might not be able to adjust with the old ones, or the old ones might not adjust with the new ones. So in order to avoid such situations, we should try to retain our old employees. Then it has been observed that individuals sticking to an organization for a longer span are more loyal towards the management and the organization. Yes, see, the employees who are working from a long time, they enjoy all kind of benefits from the organization, and because of those, because they're getting such benefits, so they are more attached to the organization. So they hardly badmouth their organization. That means they hardly talk negative, and they are always thinking in favor of the organization. So for them, the organization comes first and all other things later on. So that is why, we have to try to retain such kind of employees who are actually an asset for the organization. Then last one, it is essential for the organization to retain the valuable employees showing potential. Now every organization needs hardworking and talented employees who can come up with the creative work and different work every time. Now, if all the top performers leave the organization, can the organization survive? No, it cannot. So it is very essential that we have to retain those employees who are really working very hard and who are very valuable for the organization. So these are the need and importance why we need to retain our employees. Now let's see some factors that affect employee retention. Factors that affect the employee retention. First one, a well-defined career path. Now, the young workforce that is there in the organizations, they are very keen on having early experiences of doing different things rather than being sandboxed into one job role. They don't want to stick on to one organization with one specific job. They want to explore different kinds of jobs. They want to explore different kinds of organizations, and hence it is important for companies to chart out well-defined career paths that factor in a variety of work. They should try to make out well-defined career path that has variety of work involves, that encourages to employee to stick into the organization. If you are given a same task, if you are given a same post to be carried forward till years, obviously you will not feel like working in the organization. Whereas if new job roles are assigned, maybe you are promoted time to time, or maybe you are given appraisals time to time, so obviously you will feel motivated and you are less likely to leave the organization. So well defined career path is an important factor which affects the retention. Then second is compensation. Compensation constitutes the largest part of the employee retention process, as we all would be knowing. The employees always have high expectations regarding their compensation packages. Obviously, if you would also join, you would also go for any interview, we always keep our expectations high. Now it depends on our interview how much we are getting, but we keep high expectations. Do we keep low expectations for ourselves? No, we don't keep it ever. So compensation packages vary from industry to industry. So an attractive compensation package plays a critical role in retaining the employees. If your company has an attractive package, you are more likely to retain your employees because of that package. If your package is very less, the employees might tend to leave the organization as and when they get a good opportunity who's offering them a good package. Then the next factor that affects is work relationship. Now, work relationships that affect employee retention include supervisory management, support, and co-worker relations. Now, a supervisor or manager, they try to build positive relationships, and if they build such relationship, they aid the retention by being fair and non-discriminatory, allowing work flexibility, work being fair and non-discriminatory, allowing them to give a family balance, allowing them to give feedback that recognizes the employee efforts and performance, and supporting career planning and development. So if a manager builds a positive relationship with their subordinates, they are able to, he can try to retain them. If there is a good relationship between the subordinate and the manager, they are likely to feel the job satisfaction, they are likely to feel good working over there, and they are less likely to leave the organization. Then work-life balance. Now, irrespective of the industry, it is important for working professionals to maintain a work-life balance. While high-paying jobs do demand, if your job is very high-paying, obviously it will demand more hours of work. But organizations should implement flexible working hours, and maybe they should give some work from home policies while respecting their core office culture. In fact, not only that, practices like occasional work from home, flexible work arrangements, or maybe keeping a chunk of their time to pursue a hobby of their choice, they always help employees in maintaining a healthy work-life balance. So these kind of things shall be carried on in the organizations. Then the last one is organization behavior, environment. Now, it is not about managing retention. It's not only about managing the retention, but it is about managing the people also. If an organization manages its people well, the retention will be managed automatically. Organization should focus on managing the work environment. If the work environment is good, you will not, if you are working in a good work environment, you will think 1,000 times before leaving the job, because maybe the new job will not give you such good environment as you're having in the previous one. So a good working environment is a major factor that can influence the employee retention. Now, environment can include what all things? It can include the culture, it can include the values, the reputation of the company, quality of people who are working in the organization, employee development, risk taking, leading technologies, trust. All these are the organization environment points which are included in it. Now let's see the challenges that are faced in employee retention one by one. The first one is salary dissatisfaction. See, if overall we talk about, the management can control the problem of employees quitting the organization within no time to a great extent, but they cannot put a full stop to it. So there are a lot of challenges that we face, amongst which the first one is salary dissatisfaction. Now, every employee has high salary expectations, as we already studied that we keep our expectations high. So every employee has high salary expectations. And this is one of the major reasons why an employee quits the organization. See, retention becomes a problem when an employee quits for an exceptionally high salary which is beyond the budget of the organization. For example, you are working in an organization. Your current salary is, let's say, 30,000. Now you are working as a quality analyst over there. Suppose there is a competitor company who is also hiring you for the same post or maybe for a senior QA post, and they are offering you around 50,000. So obviously you are likely to leave the organization. And maybe if your organization does not want you to leave, so they will tell you, they might ask you that you, if you want to retain, if we want you to retain in the organization, like what could be your terms on which you would be working. So if you give your expectations to the company, and if that expectation is beyond the budget of the company, that company cannot offer you more than 40, वो तो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा आपको 40 ही दे सकते हैं. So that is a point where the salary dissatisfaction arises. You are getting 50 and your own company in which you are already working, they are saying that they can give you maximum 40,000. So you are likely to leave the organization because everybody is working towards their personal growth apart from the organization growth. So every organization has a salary budget for every employee, and which can be raised only till some extent but not beyond a certain limit. And once that limit is crossed, salary dissatisfaction arises, and which becomes a challenge in employee retention. The next is job opportunities are high. Obviously, see, there is a cutthroat competition in the market to attract the best talent from the organizations. Companies are now go a long way, to lure the talented resources of the competitors, and availability of such offers makes it difficult to retain good resources for long. For example, there is some manager in your company, who's been working for, let's say, past 2 years, and now he's got an opportunity from a competitor of yours who are ready to give him the double of salary which he's earning. So obviously, if your company cannot afford that much salary to him, they cannot have a budget of that much salary, so he is likely to leave because he is obviously getting a better job opportunity with a high package. So better job opportunities is a challenge in employee retention. Then hiring the wrong candidate. Now recruitment plays an important role, which is the future of the organization. If you have hired a right candidate, he can give you a good future. But if you hired a wrong candidate, he can even give you bad future. Candidates speak all kind of lies at the time of interviews for getting a job. It is only later that doing people realize that there has been a mismatch and thus look for a change. And problem arises whenever a right candidate is into a wrong job. The main problem arises when a right candidate, maybe you are fit enough, to do the work as a, let's take an example of quality analyst only, which we took earlier. You are fit enough to do the job as of a quality analyst, but you've been hired as a customer support executive. So will you be able to work more efficiently, as efficiently in that post as you could have worked if you would have been hired as a QA? No. So if there is a mismatch of the employee's, his skills along with the skills required for the particular job, if there is a mismatch, then the problem arises within the work that has to be done. The next point is no job rotation. Any employee, he or she, they will get bored if they do the same job for years together. If their job is monotonous, obviously they'll get bored. So the job might be good and interesting in the starting phase, but soon it becomes monotonous and it gets boring. So in this scenario, the management must go for a job rotation and provide such employees the opportunity to do something new. And if there is no job rotation, then such employees might look for other avenues. So job rotation is required. If there is no job rotation, it can act as a challenge in employee retention because they get bored for the same job. Then last point is unrealistic expectations of employees. Now, it is not possible for an organization to meet the expectation of all the employees. An employee must be mature enough to understand that one can't get all the comforts at the workplace. Can you get all the comforts? No, that's not possible. Sometimes when the unrealistic expectations of the employees are not met, they look for a job change. So unrealistic any which are unacceptable. If such kind of expectations arise from any one of the employees, and if they are not fulfilled, then the employees can leave the organization. So that is a challenge in the employee retention. So that was all about employee retention. Now let's come to the next topic, that's succession planning. Now succession planning is what? It is a process for identifying and developing new leaders who can replace old leaders when they leave, retire or die. So you try to identify and develop new leaders who can replace the old ones जो पहले से काम कर रहे हैं, ताकि अगर in case they leave the organization or maybe they get retired or maybe God forbids if they die, so we will need some person to replace them. So we already keep such persons ready and prepared. So succession planning, what it does is it increases the availability of experienced and capable employees that are prepared to assume these roles as they become available. And if we take it very narrowly, replacement planning for key roles is the heart of succession planning. The main role of succession planning is we need to plan the replacement of whom? Replacement of the old employees. So it is basically a tool to meet the necessary staffing needs of an organization department, taking not only quantity of available candidates into consideration but also focusing on the quality of the candidates through addressing competencies and skill gaps. So we try to meet the staffing needs that maybe which is arising currently or maybe which is likely to arise in future. We try to meet those needs by taking care of the quantity, how many candidates are required, and the quality of work which they do, the skills which they possess. Everything needs to be taken care of before staffing a candidate at a particular position. So succession planning is proactive and future focused and enables managers and supervisors to assess, evaluate and develop a talent pool of individuals who are willing and able to fill positions whenever needed. Now, not only this, there are certain strategies that can be implemented by the HR managers to have effective succession planning. For example, planning effectively. That means first step is we have to, in order to carry on succession planning, we first need to do initial planning very effectively. Then we can identify top performers. We have to identify who are the top performers and who have high potential. Once that is done, we cast a wide net. This is an essential strategy that we have to cast a wide net to continually focus your succession planning on the future. And without a strong view of the future of business, it's difficult unless we have a strong view for the future. जब तक हम आगे की नहीं सोचेंगे, it is very difficult to determine what type of leader should be developed. Last one is pooling the talent, that is merging them, alright, bringing them all together. So last one is merger and acquisition. Anytime when two or more organizations come together, there is a resulting duplication of roles from the top down. For example, you are also having an assistant manager for one department, the other one is also having. So duplication is possible. And when there is duplication, it is possible that we split their roles. Maybe they are working for the same task, but we have split the roles. You will work for first 10 candidates, you will take care of the next 10 candidates. Splitting the role is important. So these are the strategies that we take care in mind while having the succession planning. Now, not only this, we have to follow certain steps in order to perform the succession planning. Let's see them. First one is identify the shortage of leadership skills and defining the requirements. First, organizations have to estimate the manpower requirements well in advance. We have to first, put the estimate that how many people will be required, what is the requirement of manpower in the organization. We have to first keep a check on it. Then, identify potential successors for critical posts. Who, basically it refers to find the people with higher potential, and for this, the organizations have to collect information from various sources in order to find out which employee is more efficient, who has higher potential. We have to take information from different sources. Then coach and groom these stars. Once we have identified them, now in order to retain the talent, the organization should talk to employees and find out that what they like best in their company and their job. They need to empower the employees, they need to encourage the employees to explore their interests, they need to capture the heart of the employees. That's most important. Then only you can groom the stars and coach them. The last one is obtain top management support. Obviously, executive assessment, employee training, retention programs demand a lot of support from the top management. Until and unless that support is not there, these cannot be carried forward effectively and efficiently. So that was all about succession and succession planning. With this, our unit 3 comes to an end. Let's see some questions based on this. These are: what is employee retention? Explain its need and importance. What are the factors affecting employee retention? What are the challenges faced in employee retention? Define succession planning and write the steps involved in succession planning. It can also come as like write a short note on succession planning, or compare career planning with succession planning. So you'll have to do the comparison. Stay tuned for the upcoming lecture of unit 4. Thank you.